Hi there, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm a physical therapist and a board certified clinical specialist in neurologic physical therapy. I work here at Rogue PT and Wellness, and I've done a few videos over the last couple months all about inner ear dysfunction, balance, the vestibular system, and how that can relate to some of the motor and non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's. My last video was all about the rating of perceived stability and how we recommend using that tool to determine if a balance exercise is challenging enough in order to help you make the most benefit from the exercise that you're doing. So today, the article that I want to highlight is a study that specifically investigated a highly challenging balance program and how, whether or not that reduced fall risk in people with Parkinson's, and they used a very similar rating scale to the rating of perceived stability. So the study that I'm going to highlight is from 2016. It was conducted by researchers at Boston University, and they had 23 subjects participate who were people with PD. And during the 3-month program, the participants were either assigned to an active balance exercise group or a usual care group, which was inactivity. And then they switched after the original 3 months. So while they were in the active phase of the study, the people with Parkinson's were able to participate in a progressive, challenging group exercise program twice weekly for 90 minutes each session. All of the participants had experienced at least one fall in the last 3 months and at least 2 falls in the past year. They were also stable on their Parkinson's medication, and they could walk without any type of assisted device for at least 5 minutes. The exercise sessions in this study were taught by physical therapists, and they were based on the framework of balance developed by Dr. Faye Horak. This particular framework includes exercises and ways of modifying exercises in order to address strengthening, range of motion, anticipatory postural adjustments, reactive balance responses, changing sensory input, and gait training. And a few of those terms may be unfamiliar to you. Anticipatory postural adjustments is like the weight shift that you make when you're about to stand up from a chair. You have to get your weight off of your bottom and onto your feet. Reactive postural adjustments or reactive balance is your ability to catch yourself after an unanticipated challenge. So if someone walks into you and they bumps you, you have to respond really quickly in order to catch your balance. And then what I mean by altering sensory input is modifying the environment around you. So, for example, when you're standing on a foam surface or something else really soft, it takes away or lessens your body's ability to feel where you are in space, and therefore forces your brain to rely more heavily on the inner ear vestibular system and your vision in order to help you balance. Similarly, if I put some kind of moving screen or really busy video in front of you, like someone with a GoPro going on a roller coaster, what your brain sees, what your eyes see and signal to your brain doesn't match the environment around you. And that's going to also change your balance responses accordingly. So in this particular study, they didn't use or they didn't call it the rating of perceived stability specifically, but they did use a similar 10-point scale, and the exercises were progressed to increase the challenge if any participant perceived the challenge to be less than 7 out of 10. And those exercises were individualized, so not every participant was doing the same thing. They were ensuring that that participant felt the challenge was a 7, and that was specific to them. So even though, again, they didn't use the specific rating of perceived stability, I think this highlights the importance of establishing a dialogue between clinicians and participants to make sure they're being adequately challenged to maximize the benefits of exercise. And in this particular study, they use weighted vests, uneven surfaces, variable surfaces as just a few of the ways in which they made the exercises more challenging. In this study, both groups performed both conditions. So both groups either performed exercise followed by no exercise, or they performed no exercise followed by exercise, each for 3 months at a time. And then all of the study results were analyzed and compared to the scores during the time in which they were not exercising. And there was pretty significant results. Participants showed an improvement in their falls efficacy scale, meaning like how likely they felt they were to fall and their fear of falling. Participants also showed an improvement in the Mini BESTest, which is an objective balance test commonly used in physical therapy offices. And they showed a 37%, that was the most significant, 37% reduction in falls per month following the study. So I think research like this is super exciting. It shows how important it is to appropriately dose the level of challenge and exercise for people with Parkinson's and similar diagnoses. It also highlights the fact that improvement is always possible. So I just continue to encourage everyone, get out there, do some balance exercises, and make sure that they are intense. So here is that study. It was conducted by numerous researchers out of Boston University School of Medicine and the VL healthcare system. There's free full text links available. So if you want to do a quick Google search of the study title, the DOI, or any of these authors, you should be able to read the study for yourself. So thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day and get out there and do some exercise.